clutter-free.
As we come to close, let us give a round of applause for Ine So, who became our Sonia for today. Thank you for your heartfelt performance, Ine, and thank you all for taking your time to honor our survivors. So now we will hear from our several activists or people who were dedicating to this issue, or who just know about this comfort woman issue, share about few words about what they feel about the Global Action Day and also what we are doing here today. Anyone who wants to speak? Okay, no volunteer. Could we?
My name is Liz Sun, and I'm a professor at Northwestern University. And I am speaking here today to show my support for the survivors all around the world. For those of you who are joining us for the first time, Comfort Women were an estimated 200,000 young girls and women who were forced into sexually serving the Japanese military troops in the years leading up to and during World War II. They came from all over Asia, from places that were colonies and occupied territories for Japan. And for almost 5 decades, these women kept their past experience a secret. In the early 1990s, a social movement emerged in South Korea, and now it has become a global movement. And as we stand here today, we are joining hundreds around the world who are holding solidarity protests in support of these women who have been gathering every single Wednesday since January 8, 1992. What is remarkable about these women is that they are not only calling us to attend to what happened to the past, to redress this crime against these women, but to think about how this history that happened in the past impacts our present and impacts the future. So the survivors in Korea in particular had started a fund called the Nabi Fund, the butterfly. And in case you have noticed, many of us are wearing yellow butterflies. These are a mascot for the women, to stand for the women who see themselves not as victims, but as liberated women who are now advocating against sexual violence against all women around the world. And they started this fund in order to raise funds and to support women in the Congo and Vietnam who are survivors of sexual violence. And it's important today that we remember not only the women, but this statue that right now is the point of contention between the South Korean and Japanese government, right? Because it's very important for me as an educator that we remember that redress is not just in the hands of the court or in the hands of the government. It is in our hands. The young men who are riding across the country, they themselves, right, are performing an act of redress and remembering what these women went through. What we are doing here and remembering these women and calling for more memorials in the work of Can Win, we are all doing the work of justice. And that is what we have to remember, that it is our responsibility. It is not the responsibility of solely the governments. It is in our hands to remember that we can make change happen in the everyday. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Anyone else who wants to share a few words with us? You want to? Thank you. Thank you so much. 선생님 한 말씀 하시겠어요?
Good afternoon. My name is Bonnie Oh. I'm a retired professor of Korean Studies from Georgetown University in Washington, D.C. Since Professor Son covered most of the history of Comfort Woman, I will not repeat it. Today, I'd like to thank Can Win, Korean American Women in Need. That's Ms. Chi Young-ju as a director sponsoring this event, and also 3 young men from South Korea riding across the U.S. And they are reaching all the way to Washington, D.C. and New York to raise awareness about comfort women. And I'd like to thank them all, and all of you who are here in this hot, wet Chicago weather, and also those of us who are actively participating in it. And I'd just like to thank all the activists. And one thing I'd like to leave with you is that there are only about 43 surviving comfort women in South Korea. Japanese government may be waiting the natural end of this movement, but they are mistaken about that, because comfort women rights are human rights, as the women's rights are human rights. And that even when the last of them disappear from the face of this earth, this human rights issue will not disappear. Once again, thank you for being here. The sponsors, Kanwin, and the three young men, three Kims from South Korea, and all the other activists who are here, and the young lady who was sitting here, she was just so marvelous. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Cheji, you want to say a word?
Hello, everybody. My name is Jae-jin Park. I am been a longtime advocate and ally to ending sexual violence and domestic violence and men's violence against women for many, many years. And I am very grateful to Kanwin for their ongoing and courageous and wonderful work. And I'm just happy to be here to add my voice to this. I also want to also like to say that comfort women and the atrocity of comfort women, and it's really uncomfortable to say the words comfort women, because for me, my introduction, when I first heard the term, I had no idea that comfort women meant the actual sexual slavery of women. It doesn't sound bad, but it's important that I think that we do raise our voice and say that comfort women refers to the slavery, the human trafficking, and the rape of women and girls. Thousands upon thousands of women who represent our mothers, our sisters, our aunts, grandmothers, nieces, and daughters that we can relate to, because women are part and girls are part of all our lives. I thank all of you, and I'm grateful to everyone for here to add their voice and body and presence to say together, as Asian American community, as allied communities, that we stand against this type of crime and injustice. And we collectively say together, survivors have strength, they have courage, they have dignity. We respect their experience and honor their lives, and they deserve to be heard, seen, and hopefully soon and now, they deserve justice. So thank you.
Thank you. Any last person who wants to say something? Oh.
Hi, my name is Lucy Beck. I have a little saying to Prime Minister Mr. Abe. Dear Mr. Abe, do you know Japanese history? We know Korean history. Japan subjugated and colonized Korea in 1910. We, Korea, lost everything. Our government, 4,243 years of Korean history, cultures, our language, our own education system, our personal name, moreover, human rights. Imperial Japanese Army took over 200,000 young girls from Korea, China, Taiwan, Philippines, Thailand, Malaysia, East Timor, Indonesia, Myanmar, and 80% of Koreans, because we didn't have any country, you took freedom to take anyone. military sexual slavery known as a comfort woman. As you know, comfort woman issue is in history and internationally recognized. United States, year 2007, State of Illinois, year 2014, and the City of Chicago, year 2015. Korean society in Chicago started to elect comfort woman. I'm getting tongue-tied. Comfort woman statue in metropolitan Chicago area somewhere is almost all prepared. We need a spot to install. No one can revise this history. We want this history teachers not to happen again and utilize young girls as a sexual slavery or any form of slavery. You can be forgiven if you formally acknowledge, formally apologize, and accept financial historical responsibility. Japanese government is spending a lot of energy to revise this history. Revising history is a crime and an insult to humanity. Wrong thing in history can never be changed to right by just denying. World War II was a crime. Military sexual slavery system was a crime. In this comfort woman issue, if this comfort woman issue is ignored, it's going to be repeated again in some form. Prime Minister Kiichi Miyazawa was born 1911, and he knew comfort woman issue personally, and the Chief Cabinet Secretary of Yohei Kono declared Kono Statement 1993, which is acknowledgement of official involvement and the course recruitment. Mr. Abe, you were born 1954. You were 9-year-old when World War II ended. Did you learn Japanese history? I was born in same year as when Prime Minister Kono was born. I had 3 older sisters and remember this horror personally, them not to be kidnapped. Japanese Imperial Army Corps kidnapped those young girls, unmarried, powerless. Mr. Abe, do you think a Nazi Holocaust did not happen? Can you learn anything from how Germans handled it? Thank you for listening.
Thank you. Today, the survivors of Japanese military sexual slavery during World War II are calling for justice and restoration of human dignity. They are also calling for no more war and no more violence against women. Unfortunately, war and violence against women are still happening globally and even in our community. But there is a hope. There is a, like Ms. Lucy Beck said, there is a statue here in Chicago. Somewhere will be there. Also, there is a Illinois resolution passed, Senate and House, in the past couple years ago by the Asian American the advocacy organization Advanced Justice Effort. So we have all citizens agree to move forward this issue to find the justice, but we know it's a long way to go, and so let us work together to eradicate all violence against women and move forward this issue and find justice. Let us join forces to make our world a place where everyone can be live free of oppression and violence. Thank you so much for participating in this rally. We hope to continue working with you to raise our voices together for the comfort women survivors as well as survivors of sexual violence all over the world. Thank you so much.